doing this thing where we're talking about a movie that you guys made and I have seen. I think we should explain what the movie is about, and I'd rather you do it than me. Whoa.
Oh boy. What is the movie about? It's not about the Weather Underground. That's the event that kicks off the movie. It's about those people that went underground at that time, and they assumed a false identity to stay free from going to jail. And they went underground and assumed a false identity in order to have a life. And in the course of time, as times changed, attitudes changed, those people changed, but they were trapped by their past. The pursuer in this case is Shia, who plays a reporter, which is something you know about.
Yep.
And then the character that I play is a character that has been hiding for a long time, has a young daughter, and realizes that in order to have the love of that daughter, that's all he's got left in his life, he has to go on the run to clear his name. And it becomes like The Hunter and the Hunted. And so, but it's not about that time of the underground. That just sets it off. It's about what were these people's lives like years later, having to live without their true name. So basically, can you do that? Or is there a moment that comes into your life when you have to say, even with the consequence I have to face, I have to give that up so I can be truly who I am?
So Bob, it's a fairly important cast because, you know, there's two quests in the movie. There's your quest, your character's quest, and his character's quest, and people have to buy him in that role. But it's also up by the fact that you're going to be working with him. I mean, you guys are going to be paired up, not just as director and actor, but actor and actor. So what did you see in those meetings that thought, yeah, I think Shia can do this?
What I saw was that he pretty much right off the bat when we first met had a lot of the qualities I was looking for, and that is a very quick mind and a quick tongue. And he had both of that. And then the next question was, well, how much would he be able to wear this role? Because I think an actor, to give a good performance, has to wear the role of the character they're playing. So I didn't spend a lot of time with Shia on that because I felt pretty early on that he was right. And it was a question of just making him comfortable because I was quickly comfortable. And because I saw his character as the driving engine of the play. In other words, the plot, the story was just sitting there. It was sitting there like a volcano waiting to erupt. And his character being the reporter that begins to pursue, it becomes then the hunter and the hunted, which is always interesting to me in a lot of the work that I've done. I'm very fascinated by that relationship between the hunter and the hunted, or predator-prey, and so he becomes the hunter. Once he starts to move, the story moves, and it starts to break open. And then he drives that story to a point of chaos. He drives the story to a point where it creates chaos for all the people who have comfortably hidden underground with new lives and so forth. He breaks everything loose and wide open. But in the course of that, he has to, it starts out as self-interest, a reporter whose self-interest is, I want to get this story for my own advantage as much as anything else. And as he pursues it, something begins to happen where by the end of the film, he has to begin to look at himself in ways that maybe he hasn't.
In the book, The Journalist and the Murder, I think Janet Malcolm writes, a journalist is always selling somebody out.
You know, one of the first things Bob telling me, see, the beauty of this situation was I had not just my prep work, but everything Bob had prepped when he did it, you know, and not just working on the script, but working on past characters and the people that he had run into. And I remember him saying, you know, this guy's music changes every room he's in. His favorite music changes every room he's in, right? And I thought that was really interesting. That was a key into the character, you know. That's the direction from Bob. It's usually one sentence that'll just send you off running for the rest of your tenure there, you know. This guy's music changes in every room. His favorite music changes in every room he's in. I remember that was like, bing.
Did you look around and say, yeah, this seems fine to me. My next scene was with Julie Christie, and then I got Chris Cooper, and then me and Bob are gonna do a little scene later. So was it a big jackpot for you as a young actor?
Yeah, but I was terrified, you know. So I was there to work, you know, and I was always there. Also, I was always there, you know. I always. Yeah.
I read that you're like stapled to Bob and
Yeah, that's what it is. You know, I'd be there on days when I wasn't working just to like sort of hang out by the monitor.
Oh, that was so great. You know, how many, that to me, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, but that's what it is.
No,
That's the truth.
we like to.
Yeah, I'm a fan too. You know, I wanted to just watch other people work too. There'd be days where like Chris Cooper would show up and they'd have their scene, and I'd sort of be quietly observing. I mean, it's a front row ticket to some cool stuff, you know.
That commitment, to me, what was exciting about that was that level of commitment. I mean, that just thrills me as a person, as an artist, but it also as a director. It's pretty thrilling to have that kind of a commitment of an actor. When he's not working, he'll come and work and look and study to absorb stuff. He did that all the way through the film.
There was that, and there was also like, I remember hearing about Bob's prep with Dustin when they were doing All the President's Men, the speed of the speech. I remember me and Bob being very specific about speed of speech, generationally, you know, and the speed of the mind generationally, the reporter's speed, you know, with me and Brendan Gleeson, managing levels of speed and things like that, or, you know, me with Tucci and that speed being very different. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, like I would have to catch Tucci on his days when he'd be in there on a wardrobe assignment or something like that. And I'd ask Bob if it was okay if I'd come and sort of follow these guys around and ask to rehearse with them. So I would sort of hang out with Bob until Brendan Gleeson would have a free moment. And then I'd go run over with him and we would drill for a little bit whenever we would have some time. And then he would go work with Bob and then I'd wait for Tucci to have a moment. And so it was a working set. Yes, I'm there as a fan and I'm getting free craft service and whatnot. But I'm also
Which is really cheap, by the way.
But I'm also taking my opportunities when I have them, and also for me, finding comfort with these men makes it easier for me to be adversarial. You know, it's different. If I was just looking up to Bob the whole time, this movie would have been very, very easy for me. But because there's moments where I'm coming at him from this angle,
Right.
there has to be a comfort zone with me and him and the only way I could get there was to be around. You know, and that with most of the people in the story, because I'm playing quite a cocky individual, and you don't feel like the most you don't feel the most confidence when you're in a room with a Brendan Gleeson and a Robert Redford and a Stanley Tucci. If you're me, you feel quite small, and so to get out of that, I was around all the time.
I've seen Sundance Institute. As you know, I like coming to that little festival you have every year. And I've seen the ski hill that you ski on, and I think to myself, man, I think I'd just stay up there and do that, man. It's pretty up there, it's nice up there. Making a movie is hard.
It is.
Especially nobody wanted to give you any dough, right? So, and so you're going around with the tin cup, and so why do it? What is it about the form that pulls you into doing it when you have a really nice life?
I can't avoid it. Susan Sarandon says in the film, well, you do what you have to do. In other words, I just want to create work. I want to tell stories through film. And so therefore, yes, all that's great. And that festival, by the way, is big. It was the most fun when it was small. When I started it, because the odds were against it. You know, they said you're going to start a festival for independent film, and you're going to do it in Utah, where in that religious environment, socially, is that going to be possible to do that? I said, well, I just want to try it, I want to do it. So it went and it struggled for a while, and then it went to where it is now, which is, you're not going to turn a cold shoulder on success, but it's big, it satisfies a need, it's great, but it's not as fun as it was when it was first starting. So when you ask, you know, yeah, I could sit up there. It is a beautiful place, obviously. And I've tried to keep it as beautiful as possible. But what I do is I have to work. I have to create something. That's it. If you took all that away, if you took all that land away, it would hurt. But I would still have this. And so that's the most important.